360 flips are a trick that a lot of people do by accident. When you're first learning to fingerboard and you're wildly flipping the board and praying that you land back on it, chances are that you've landed a 360 flip. To clear up any confusion, a 360 flip is when the board does a 360 rotation away from you and it does a barrel roll towards you. The naming can be a bit confusing, but a 360 flip, a 3 flip, and a tray flip are all the exact same thing. I personally prefer to call it a tray flip. To break down the trick in fingerboarding terms, a tray flip is a combination of a kick flip and a 360 pop shove. But honestly, you don't need to know either of those tricks to learn how to tray flip, so in this video I'm going to cover everything you need to know to learn how to tray flip. Step number 1, where to put your fingers. First, you want to put your index finger in the middle of the board and your middle finger on the tail of the board. When you're first learning this trick, it can help to have your index finger on the edge of the board that's closest to you. This is going to make it easier to flip the board. Another trick that can help when it comes to your finger positioning is to have your middle finger on the edge of the tail that's furthest away from you. This is going to make it easier to pull the board towards you, which will make the board rotate away from you. Step number 2, flipping the board. The key to this trick is to do a scissor kick with your fingers so that you push your index finger away from you and pull your middle finger towards you. A lot of people find this trick easier than kick flips because it can be tough to get used to sliding your index finger along the grip tape. But because the board is already spinning away from you with a tray flip, you don't need to flick your index finger off of the edge of the board, and the motion of the board spinning away from you will make the board flip as long as your index finger is on the grip tape. In other words, the 360 pop shove part of the tray flip basically does the flicking motion for you. And while it is good to move your fingers independently with this trick, it's important to move your wrist and bring both fingers up as you pop the board. If you try to press down on the tail and then flick, you will lose all your momentum, so focus on bringing up both fingers as you pop the board. Another way to think of the tray flip if you're having trouble getting it to flip is to do a scooping motion towards you with your wrist. By twisting your hand away from you, you end up in the same finger position as doing a scissor kick, with our index finger pointed away from us and our middle finger pointing towards us. This can be a great way to practice moving your whole hand and wrist with the board so that you can start flipping and rotating the board. You really want to focus on your index finger making contact with the grip tape and aim for the edge of the nose that's closest to you. Another thing to keep in mind is the finger positioning of your middle finger isn't there just to help you with the shove it rotation, but it's also super important for flipping the board. This is because when you pop the tail with your middle finger on the edge of the tail that's furthest away from you, the board is going to want to flip away from you like a heel flip, and this makes it a lot easier for your index finger to make contact with the board and then flip it towards you like a kick flip. The nice thing about fingerboarding is, unlike skateboarding where you have to jump in the air and give it enough time to flip over, we can hold our hand in the air for as long as we want and land whenever we feel ready. So when you're first learning to tray flip, focus on the flip and rotation and don't worry about catching the board in the air. It's really important to make sure your index finger is making contact with the board so that it actually flips over. Step number 3, how to pop your tray flips higher. Tray flips are one of those tricks that like to go all over the place. It took me a long time to be able to land them every try, so here's a few helpful tricks that I learned to pop them higher and land them more consistently. If you find that your tray flips are spinning too much like a 540 flip, try turning your fingers away from you. This is going to slow down the rotation of the board and give you a lot more control. If you find that your tray flips aren't spinning enough and they're flipping more like a varial flip, try turning your fingers towards you. This will make it a lot easier to scoop the board, which will get it to do the 360 rotation. If your tray flips are doing more than one flip, try putting your index finger on the edge of the board that's furthest away from you. This will make it much harder to flip the board so that you can focus on getting it to flip once. Tray flips are much more like a kick flip than they are a 360 pop shove, so if you haven't already, check out my kick flip tutorial so you can really master the kick flip. What really worked for me when I was trying to get my tray flips higher was to think of it as a regular kick flip but have my fingers in the tray flip position. That way you can focus on getting a good pop and flick, and the board will naturally want to rotate because our middle finger is on the edge of the board that's furthest away from us. Doing a 360 shove it is a lot easier than doing a kick flip, so it's important to focus on the kick flip portion of the trick if you want to catch the board in the air. I find that when I focus too much on the 360 shove part of my tray flip, I can never get them very high. But by getting a solid pop of the tail and leveling out the board with my index finger, I can actually catch my tray flips on the way up rather than waiting for them to fall back to the ground. Another trick that really helped me get my tray flips higher was to try to get my middle finger underneath the board when I scoop the tail. This will help you get a lot more height on your tray flips because you'll be able to lift the board up with your middle finger. Tray flips are the most popular trick in fingerboarding. They look extremely impressive and are surprisingly easy compared to simple tricks like kick flips or varial flips. And while they are easy to learn, they are very difficult to master and require a lot of skill and style to be able to land them perfectly. And if you want to learn some other easy tricks, check out my previous video to learn about ollies or basic manuals and grinds. Once you combine those with your tray flips, you'll be looking like a pro fingerboarder in no time. And let me know in the comments below what trick you want to learn next. Thank you so much for watching, and make sure to subscribe for more tutorials like this.